Voch Shalom Ran. It's not even on his status. It's crazy. And that's why I did it. Agud Voch Rabbi Sai. Did it again. We have some very, very chashuv guests. And I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about Benedict. You see, he claims at least that he's, from the entire shir, he's the most similar to me. It's possible. I think we're somewhat related, no?
We're related. I don't claim it. It's a fact.
It's a fact. Let's see. You want the Panovich?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. He's a pilot. He does real estate. Owns a plane. He used to own one, but not a Cirrus. What else? Speak Yiddish. Switzerland? No. Schweiz? What do you have?
No, French. I'm from French part.
That's French. What else? That's the only similarities? Oh, ski. What else? Scuba diving.
You speak Hungarian?
Clean shaven.
English?
The Gonish.
He's not a billionaire.
Shalom, you got a seat? I don't know about this walking around. Shalom walking around is going to be a problem, huh? Anyways. Shalom Aleichem, what's your name?
Ariel.
It's not you're in yeshiva here. You said you're like Shalom Aleichem, the father, Dr. Gan Shalom Aleichem. What's your first name? Shmuley. The son-in-law, the grandson. Okay, Rabbi say we have Akiva over here. F94?
F94. You got it.
Yes.
90.
Is it F90 or 94?
94.
94.
90 is the guy.
Well, who brought this?
We bought it.
We.
Me, I paid for it.
Shalom, Shkoya, the man of the gifts. One of the nicest gifts that think of silver. I wanted to bring it, Taco. Whatever. Okay, different time. Tonight's Malava Malka is sponsored by Meshulam Dir with hearts full of gratitude to Hashem on my wife Shalamis Bas Leah Chana's recovery. Valdik. Is he here in the house? No, not here. Shalom Aleichem, what's your name? Yossi Deutsch. You friends with these guys? I wouldn't admit it if I were you. Shalom Aleichem.
Josh Brown.
From?
Clifton, New Jersey.
Clifton, New Jersey. We can put you on the best table here. This is like, oh, you put him here. Okay, good. Who else? You just want to say hello? Shalom Aleichem. What's your name? You. Vadir! You were also here, no? Okay, you guys are here. You guys. Oh, Belzers? Oh, whoa, time out. Are you Bells? If you're not Bells, hold on a second. Wait. You guys want to say hello? Skver? All three of you? Bells. So let me see. The hat is different? No, the hat is the same. See, man, it's confusing me. Wow. So what's your name? Skver?
Moshe Klein.
From Border Park?
Yeah.
Where? Yeah, okay. And you?
Lovely Hertz.
From?
Staten Island.
Ooh. And you?
Nasi Hertz.
From? Montreal. Okay, and you guys in the back now?
Ozzy Schreiber from Flatbush. I'm staying at Dr. Factor for Shabbos.
Oh, you never. It's a funny guy, no? And you?
Shemaiah Sauber from Edison, New Jersey.
Edison. And behind you, what's your name? Behind you, what's your name?
Milky Gans, Moreshet.
Shalom Aleichem. Brother. Whose brother? Oh, he said Gans? Oh, the ganze Mishpuch over here. So, Ahmed, the ganze Mishpuch, yeah. He brought him all the way, he was here for Shabbos. But tonight he came in there. Ah, beautiful. Okay, Shalom Aleichem. Put him in the back like that. Okay, what else? Who else? Oh, what's your name? Front of Shalom Rand. Yes.
Martin Roth from Manchester.
Shalom Aleichem, Manchester. Ah, snuck in. I was like, you've been here, what? You were here a month ago? When were you here?
Six.
Okay, cool. All right, we can go. We can learn some Torah. Who else? More? The boy? Who? Oh, Shalom Aleichem, yeah. From where? Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim HaKodesh, Shalom Aleichem. You do the shir once in a while?
Since Sukkot I've been doing it.
Really? Givaldik. Yishmael, where do you live? What part of Yerushalayim? So they have a satellite location there. They don't have what? They have a place? Ben. Ah, Yaakov schlepped him in. Yaakov brought you in? Or no shaykhs?
It's my son-in-law.
Right, but did he convince you or not? No shaykhs? Okay, Givaldik. Let's see what we have here. I wanted to express my feelings regarding the video your father shlit in the slaughterhouse with the chickens. It appeared to viewers that as if it was disrespectful towards your father shlita. To him, he's blaming the viewers. In my opinion, even though it was unintentional and resulted in an educational downside, especially for the children watching who thought you were laughing at and belittling your father's quirks. Shagoyness, he writes here. Shikoyach for the tremendous effort you invest in the shiurim of Avram Horowitz. Everybody sees it in a different way. I didn't see it that way. Okay. Here's good morning. Our boys say cake. A lot of it. It's a real cake somewhere. I'm not joking around there. That's the name of the cake. So this guy, he's a taxi driver. I spoke about him a number of times. I met him a few times. He drives all day long and he watches the shir 5 times a day. He's been with us for like 2 years. And also now he has a beard and payas. And he's explaining why he has a beard and payas. Because his Rav told him that if he grows a beard and payas, then his daughters will get shidduchim. And he 1 centimeter. You see.
לפני פסח קיבלתי על עצמי לגדל פאות וזקן. וברוך השם אני מגדל פאות, הנה אני אוציא אותם שתראו כבר את האורך שנהיה מאז. זה האורך. ואני התחלתי לגדל פאות כי הרב שלי אמר לי, אם תגדל, אתה הגיע שידוכים של הילדים שלך. גידלתי חודש, סנטימטר אחד הגיע השידוך של הילדה שלי. ועכשיו חיתנו אותה לפני פחות מחודש. וכל זה בזכות החיזוק שאנחנו מקבלים פה ב-MDY, מהלימוד גמרא, כי התורה שבה מחזירם למוטב. ממש ככה.
I don't know why. This made it into Yeshiva World News. Why? Because there's an accident. There's a turned over car.
Called the Parish, Meruba Parish, Givaldik. And I'm going to show you a video. It's going to release all your trauma. When you pull one animal out of the pen,
it's like relaxing during traffic.
From a right. It's one out of many. Now
we need some cheers. Anybody have?
Called Tisha Chanukah.
You got in charge of the cheers still or not?
Many. A bunch of times in Shas.
Gotta get them.
Then take a look at this.
Check this town.
I always love this studio.
Where's the accent in the radio?
We are so much not to eat. And I'm
here
not
it
putting
is.
down the
New
shame
York.
and everything. I'm not putting my house down.
I hope it's not like a Michelin. Okay. My almost 2-year-old is home. He doesn't go to a babysitter as he has a foot allergy. Bez Hashem is like his older brother will grow out of it. He loves your shir. He watches it daily for almost a half a year in the morning. Yes, your video babysit while I work. As a matter of fact, if I turn on anything else like the news, which I used to do while I work, he screams, not stopping until I turn you on. P.S. At times he puts down the phone to play, but when he hears a change to AI video, he makes sure to get over to watch. Thank you, Naftali Wallfish, for getting me involved. He's thanking Naftali to get. Thank you, Rebelli, and all of them. I've been Yomen to Rebello. Here it is. Here's his kid. West Hempstead, Shalom Aleichem. And you? Where in Connecticut?
Who is it?
Who are you watching? You like her back?
That's my.
What's in the Yeshiva building? What happened to the Yeshiva building? Cool.
Is it really?
Who else? Shalom Aleichem. What's your name?
My initials is actually Y.
Okay, anyway, Bekitzer. Hi, my name is Mendel Lazar. I recently started listening to your daf and I'm loving it. My father-in-law and brother-in-law are part of them. My family had a question I'm not understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I get a lot of these. Almost every day I get some questions in learning. You just know that I don't know, if once it starts getting to the Torah part, I space out. And I certainly don't answer. I don't answer any emails because I don't have time. Maybe one day I'll get a secretary or something, or we'll send it to the koil. First, so I just wanted to show, here's the oil. This is November 28th at 10:25. And then I get this one, November 28th, 9:08. Hello to the MDY. My name is Adam. And Rabbi Stefansky videos have been an eye-opener. I have a halachic question for the rabbi. I want to open up a self-service car wash company in Israel that works 24/7. Am I allowed 24/6? That's the basic. I'm not a Rav, I don't paskin, and don't ask me questions in learning. You're not going to get an answer from me. The Masechta sponsor, David Salomon, dedicated in memory of Imori. The only emails in learning is when I make mistakes, write to me. Rav Shmuel Baruch ben Reb Chaim Tzvi Doiv Zichron Livracha. Masechta sponsored by Anonymous. Lili Nishmas Lili Shlomi Yehuda Zichron Livracha ben Shmuel Chaim Asher Shokav Loma Kochim Kol Chayav. Anonymous. L'Zech Nishmas Lochem Tzvi ben David. Sponsored by Skyberg Capital in honor of our friends Meir Kovacs, Taki, and Shamshi Shlabrak for the devotion to Torah study and the Shir. Joel Gedalius, Lili Nishmas, my father Jack Gedalius. Anonymous. That's Locha Baruch Nisu Gashmias. Multi sponsors. See Jacobs. For Refuah Shlema, for Bracha Bat Chana. Anonymous, please down for the Refuah Shlema, for the world's best dad, Aaron ben Chaya Sarah. Anonymous, Bracha Ad Lidai, Baruch Tzvi Nisim ben Shoshana Leah, Yehuda ben Yomi ben Chava. Weekly sponsors, Alan Khan, in memory of my mother, Yocheved Mina Bat Avram, Ari Simon, Refuah Shlema, Avi Mori, Baruch Miriam, David Green, for Refuah Shlema, for Chana Rivka Bat Yosefa. Ari Simon came on Friday. Literally, he left here an hour before Shabbos because he said he wasn't going to be here much of Shabbos. Daily sponsors, Charles Isengard. Baruch v'atzlach to everyone learning Daf Yomi. Amen. Anonymous. First was MDY Utah, then New Jersey, then Chicago. Next was Boca. Finally made it to Israel. Who's that? He's here in the room?
No.
It's you? That's right. Okay, let's make the cheshbon. Utah, yeah. New Jersey, Chicago. That's right. Came special to Chicago. Okay, kol hakavod.
Maybe he's talking about you.
No, that's the father-in-law, the son-in-law. Me. Finally I made it to Israel. Yishkoyach Menachem Mateh. Wow. Leis Harlow, in honor of 100 days doing the daf, means overdue for another visit to your kids in Utah. Be'ezer Hashem, yes. Where is he? He's not here tonight. Anonymous, thank you Hashem. Atzlachem Parnal Asur for Shleima L'chol Choyli Am Yisrael. Kinnovations LLC, thank you. That was the number one Kinnovations sponsorship of all time. Kinnovations LLC, thank you. Usually it's a whole Megillah. MDY Art. Anonymous, Refuah Shlema of Rivka Naomi, Basel Sheva Batke. Month, Refuah Shlema for Yonatan Eitan Ben Besheva Brocha. Refuah Shlema Mordechai Ben Esther. Refuah Yeled Daniel Zev Ben Yeled Esther. Voice eye, here we go. You can take off your hat now, Akiva. Huh? 2 locations on. Where? Where is this? Manchester. I see Manchester. What's the dark place? They have a projector. That's why. Stanford Hill. Shalom Aleichem, Stanford Hill. But let me ask you guys. Okay, so there's a video on this, but how are you going to see the Gemara inside if there's no lights? Oh, they have flashlights. There's flashlights. Oh. Stanford Hill. Okay. Zog Daily Mishnah, we're holding Daf Ayin Hey Amud Beis. Osham shenis arev b'shlamim. Okay, person brings there's 2 korbanos here. An asham is a carbon that you bring typically when you do some sort of aveira. The asham etzaira, sham gzela, shivcha harufa. Difference like. Not for the best stuff. Shenisari b'shlamim. Shlamim is more like a taida. So what is the difference between an asham and a shlamim? One difference is where we shecht it. An asham is kachik kachim. So the category of kachik kachim, you can only shecht it where? In the north. Shlamim, you can shecht anywhere in the Azara. Where do you eat an asham? Only in the Beis Hamikdash. A shlamim, you can eat it anywhere in Yerushalayim. And finally, how many days can you eat kachik kachim, asham? 1 day and a night. But shlamim, you can eat for 2 days. You with us? You're stark? You're in. Here we go. Not in now. In like since the beginning of Zevachim kind of in. Sukkah and Mamish, not a day? What's going to be with Shalom Rand? He's in. Listen, are you coming to the Shabbaton with him? For real? Did you book a room? Did you book a room? Birthday, shmirthday, what? Birthday. So bring your wife. No. You coming or not?
It's a sim.
Not to the Motzei Shabbos, 1 minute in, take a status, leave. Shabbos.
I wasn't there last year.
Huh? No, so you're coming? Good. I'm telling you, you're not gonna. I'll tell you what. If you don't have a no, like over 100, money back. Zog to Gemara, Mishnah. So now you have these two karbanos. You see the difference between them? There's 3 differences. A asham is a zachar, a shlamim. Is eaten by a zachar, eaten by a kohen. A zachar. Shlamim, anybody can eat it. A asham, you only eat in the azara, where shlamim you eat in Yerushalayim. And the asham, yom v'layla, shlamim is shnei yom v'layla. So now you have these two karbanos to get mixed up. What do? So now what? The tzafim part. Okay, cool. Yeah, you're right. Good point. We got to add that. I said it though. Okay, you see, I'm not cheating off this chart. So they got mixed up a little bit. So it shouldn't be a big deal because you could shech the shlamim in the tzafim. There's no isser to shech. There's a problem to shech the asham in the south part of the Azara. There's no isser to shech the shlamim in the north part. So shech both of these animals in the north, and just in case one of them is a asham, you shech it in the north. What about eating it? So eat it only in the Azara, not in Yerushalayim. Is there a problem with that? Is there a problem with that? Saying that this carbon could only eat in the Azara, not in Yerushalayim. Okay, let me ask you another question. Is there a problem saying that both korbanos can only eat for 1 day and a night, and you be quiet? Versus saying, okay, one of them you could eat for 2 days and a night, will be machmer. No, only eat it for 1 day and 1 night. Is there a problem with that? What's the problem? You know too much, you. Does anybody else know the answer? You could even listen to what he said and then still try to answer. What's the pshat? What is he saying? Okay, so there is a concept called Emevim Kotchim Lebeis Apsul. Okay, new thing, we didn't really discuss it. And that is, you're not allowed to take a carbon that you could eat for 2 days and say, oh, you can only eat it for 1 day. Because like that, what if you go over the 1 day? You would have to burn it. And you're going to end up burning a carbon that's perfectly good, being machmer, and you're going to destroy it without eating it. That's asur. There's another isser, which is the same isser. So according to you, could I say that I'm not going to eat the shlamim in Yerushalayim? I'm only going to eat it in the Beis HaMikdash. Is that a problem?
Could be, because maybe you won't manage to get to the Beis HaMikdash.
You are what?
Not manage to get into the Beis HaMikdash that time, and then you need to throw the korban to
So the answer is, I say you're like going a little bit over. The answer is yes, it's a problem. You're limiting where you can eat this carbon. You could have eaten it all over Yerushalayim. Now you're limiting it to the Beis HaMikdash. That's also included in this isser of Ein Mevim Kachim. You cannot limit karbanas to if you're allowed to eat them for 2 days. You can't limit it to 1 day. You're allowed to eat in the whole Yerushalayim. You're not allowed to limit it to the Beis HaMikdash. So what do? What do you do? You have two karbanas that got mixed up. First of all, the Zrikas Hadam is the same thing on both of them. You do, I think it's 4 corners. It's the same Zrika. So the Zrika is not an issue. The problem is Shchita is not a problem. You're allowed to shecht a shlamim in the tzafah, and you're allowed to shecht a asham in the tzafah. So just do it like that. However, when it comes to the amount of time that you're allowed to eat it, you have to be machmer. You can't eat it for 2 days because you don't know which one is the asham, which one is the shlamim. So both of them you're only going to eat for 1 day and a night. That's problematic because there's an isser to limit the amount of time this carbon is allowed to be eaten. This case is worse because now these are not alive. These are pieces of meat, steaks got mixed up. One is a shlamim steak, one is a nasham. You have asham and shlamim mixed up. So it's one of them you're allowed to eat only for 1 day, and one of them you're allowed to eat for 2 days. Over here we don't see a machlokes. Everybody agrees that you should be makbid and only eat it for 1 day, not for 2 days. So what's the difference really? We're going to see because when they're alive, there's a way out of it. There's another eitzah that you can do. You don't have to shecht it and be machmer and only eat it for one day. But once they're dead, there's nothing you can do. You can't send them to Kevis land and do yiru achi yistavu. You have meat that's already shechted. So what are you going to do? So the best option is just to go ahead and eat it for one day. Oh, there's a ma'isa, stam a marshal. There's a guy who was begging shver, and this happens all the time. This is not a marshal, this is MS. Like, shver, could I have some money? I want to invest. Now the shver, typical shver, looks at the 21-year-old and says, what do you know about investments? No, trust me, I'm good. I saw it on TikToks, I don't know what. I'm going to invest. I'm a big investor. Just like I know how to be mechanech my kids from TikTok, I learned how to invest. So the kids the shver says, okay, I'm going to try. He gives him some $10,000, go. So he goes, the shver says, no, what did you buy? He says, I bought a truckload of toothpicks. Sugar, what are you going to do with the truckload? Trust me, kids 3-4 months go by, nothing. He didn't even move one box. He says, no, give me one more chance. So the guy goes, he gives him $10,000. He goes and he buys a truckload of shofars. He says, what are you going to do with shofars? He says, shofar, every shul, just one shofar. This whole village, one shofar. What do you need a truckload? Kids or nothing. So the shofar decided he's going to take some of his guys in the business and they're going to, so he tells them, listen, no matter what, I want you to take this stuff, get rid of it. I don't care what you get with it. Just go ahead and get rid of it. So they come back after a few weeks. And the guy with the toothpicks, he comes back with a truckload of shofars. And the guy with the shofars comes back with a truckload of toothpicks. So the son-in-law, he says, you see, look, you thought I was crazy. Look at them. So he says, no, you idiot. There's nothing you can do with toothpicks. So the least thing, this guy with the toothpicks, he got shofars. Nothing you can do with shofars. But you had cash. With cash, you can do anything. You wasted it. Oh, what's the mashal? I have no idea. Okay, we go back there. No, I'm saying over here, there's no, you don't have a choice over here. You know what I'm saying? This meat, there's nothing you do with it. What? All right. Tani Tani Kamei the Rav. Shvi'is and Leichim Damet Truma. Okay, so here, check this out. Shemitah, those of you who live in a couple of, if you're going to get me a bottle of wine, let's see this bottle of wine again. Right. What year is it? Oh, not Shemitah, good. Whew. So a few people, I don't want to tell them now that they don't watch the year anymore. I can tell them, like the Trump bottle the guy got me is Shemitah. They still have it. It's Geschmack bottle, Trump wine. Can't drink it really. Shemitah, yeah. Shemitah is an issue here in Eretz Yisrael, around the world. The way Shemitah works, there's something called Zman Biur. Every fruit has another time that you have to get destroyed. You punch it after you have to destroy it or make it hefker. Here they did a nice video. This guy's a fig tree. Basically, there's no figs left on this tree. When he notices that there's no figs left on the tree, then all the figs that you have at home, you gotta get rid of, you gotta destroy. It's hefker. Or according to the Rambam, you burn it. So that's Zman Biur. So in other words, anything Shemitah, figs are like the most problematic because they grow at different times, but apples, whatever it is, any fruit has a Zman Biur. Like you have wheat. Wheat is when the deer stop eating, whatever it is, each thing. So there's a limit to how long you could own fruit. So a guy sells his fruit, his Shemitah fruit. Let's say it didn't grow on Shemitah, he's before. He sells the fruit, and now he has money. And he buys, with the money, he buys Truma. Truma is a kayan. You could eat truma. But the thing, truma doesn't have an expiration date. Truma lasts forever. But if you buy with Shemitah money, the money is like the fruit. So whenever the figs go hefker, so does the money. And when you buy truma with the Shemitah fruit, the Shemitah money, you buy truma with Shemitah money, it has an expiration date. Typical truma doesn't have an expiration date. Now you just put an expiration date on the truma. Whenever this guy takes his figs out and makes it hefker, you're gonna have to get the apples that you bought with the Shemitah money. You're also gonna have to get rid of. And what is that called? That's called a meviim kachim lebeis hapsul. You're limiting the truma now. You're not allowed to limit truma. Ein loikim b'domeh truma. You're not allowed to purchase truma with Shemitah money. Oh, the loik Rabbi Shimon. This doesn't go according to Rabbi Shimon by Yochai. Rabbi Shimon, he holds that you could limit. How do I see that he could limit? Because in our Mishnah it says that if two korbanos get mixed up, an asham that you can only eat for one day and a shlomi can eat for 2 days, you pretend that they're both asham, they eat it for 1 day and you limit it. Rabbi Shimon says it's not a problem. Amar lo afilu tamru Rabbi Shimon hanamilu the Avid. It's like in 2 words brought down. Well, the kids are the Avid. The point is, Rabbi Shimon doesn't say you should go ahead and purchase something and make it the lechatchila limit its time. He says if you have a situation with 2 korbanos are mixed up, then you treat it and you only eat it for 1 day. That's b'di'evet. He never said go purchase truma with shemitah money. That's lechatchila. You don't do that. That's the Gemara. So now we're going to go through a series of examples where you see that Reb Shimon allows you to limit deraisas, the time of a certain deraisa, and he doesn't care so much about meviim kachim lebeis hapsul. Karbonos that you're allowed to eat. So the kohanim, they could eat it. You know, they used to make a party over there in the Beis Hamikdash. They shecht a lot of animals. They would eat steaks and la'achlan sluyin. You could broil. You could roast shlukim, which is like a.
Is that what happened to you when the car you back?
The shlukin, right, the shlukin. So some guy, Yosef Ben Zev, sent me that he put in ChatGPT. What if a mafia guy tells a Jewish guy that backs into his car shlukin? What does that mean? So it says that in Italian shlukin means like you better pay up or something. It's not. It wasn't threatening my life. Something like that. Okay, it could be ChatGPT made it up. Shlukin, umevushalin. So it's like a slow cook. Shlukin, you know that when. I like this. I don't know about you guys. The overnight meat. You know, like you put the ribs into the crock pot. You know, for slow cook. Shmak, sous vide. You know, it falls apart. Also, Nathan G feels like we're 101 here. You know what I'm saying? He asks one question. That's it. Everybody disappears. It's like, what's going on? Until I get him the helicopter right. Umabu shalom and cooked. And what do you do? We're almost there. Velocis l'tochem tabli chulim tabli truma. You're allowed to put in ingredients. You're allowed to put in different spices that are chulin, obviously. Well, even chulin, because you're dealing here with kachin. And tabli truma, you're allowed to use spices of truma. Now, what's the problem? What's the problem with truma, spices? Because now you're dealing with kachim. Kachim you can only eat for a day, maximum for 2 days. And you're using spices that are truma. How long can you eat truma? Forever. And now you just limited the spices. The garlic powder, which by the way, it's a big problem here in Eretz Yisrael. When you go buy pizza, they don't have garlic powder. It's Narivoyim. In Mendelssohn's, you know, in all the pizza shops, that's one of the things. They don't know about this. But they give you, where's that big giant thing? They give you the rot of shum. Well, yeah, give me this rot of shum business. Pass it down here. I want to know why in the world. We got to change it up a little bit. They Pasha don't know.
Salad dressing.
This is what they give here in Eretz Yisrael when you buy pizza. Mayonnaise with, just a little, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Do you do garlic on your pizza?
Of course.
Of course. Who doesn't do garlic on the pizza? But anyways, if you put garlic powder on your carbon, now you can only eat the garlic powder for 2 days. You ruin it. That's Eimavim Kachin LeBeis Apsul. The Rabbi Shmuel.
To change the gears to Reb Shimon.
Reb Shimon. Reb Shimon would be much better because it would be a question on Reb Shimon. You see, Reb Shimon Furish holds, yeah, makes sense to change it out from Reb Shmuel to Reb Shimon because we're asking a question. We're proving that Reb Shimon holds that it's not a problem. You could use spices, and the Gemara says a second later that it's Reb Shimon. That you're using spices even though you're limiting the eating time. Omar Lei. Now, let me ask you something. What halacha does garlic powder have when it comes to truma? Is it the rice or the rabbanon? The garlic powder that you separated from your thing and you put on the side. What is it? The rabbanon, the rice, that truma. The rabbanon. Why the rabbanon? Dagan, tirash, v'yitzar. There's only 3 items that are the rice: wheat, grapes, and olives. The oil, olive oil. All grains. Omerlei, hanach l'trumas tvalim d'Rabbanon. What are you worried about? Over there, it's okay. So you took a d'Rabbanon truma, and now you limited it to 2 days instead of forever. It's not the end of the world. It's only d'Rabbanon. Eisvei, another question. Ein loikim truma. Trying to prove that Reb Shimon holds that it's not a problem, even in the Raisa, not a problem to limit. Eisvei, ein loikim truma b'kesav meiser. What's kesav meiser for the 1,000th time this year? This is one of the things that no old timers and them, why they don't want to hear this anymore. Truma. A person has produce, and he has to give truma and then meiser. And then he gives 10% himself, which he only could eat in Yerushalayim. And if it's too heavy for him, so then he trades it out into cash, and he brings the cash to Yerushalayim, and in Yerushalayim he buys any food he wants, almost, and he decides with the money to buy truma. Ein loikim truma because of you're not permitted to buy truma if you're a kohen with that money. Why? With the meiser sheni money, because you're limiting the amount of the time that you're allowed to eat.
Where you're letting.
Oh, right, correct. The makom. So over here you see mefurish. It's also oinen can't eat it, but the place where you could eat it, meiser sheni could only eat Yerushalayim. Truma could eat it everywhere else. Reb Shimon matir, and Reb Shimon says it's not a problem. So here you see, that's a kasha. You see that Reb Shimon holds even when it comes to dairaises, limiting is not an issue. Ishtiklai, so Rava didn't answer. He also like Rav Yosef. So now Abaya, throughout Shas, Abaya always talks to Rav Yosef, even when he got sick and he forgot a lot of his learning, he helped him out. I don't understand. Abaya, why don't you ask Rava from a different place? It says, you shouldn't cook vegetables of Shemitah in oil of Truma. Why? By you putting in a Shemitah vegetable in Truma oil, so you're causing the oil you're limiting the oil. You can only eat it for the time for Shemitah. Whenever there's man beers with the monkeys and all that stuff, there's a certain limit when you do Shemitah. You mix Shemitah with Truma. Reb Shimon matter. Oh, it says Mefurish. Reb Shimon doesn't care about it. He doesn't care about limiting dairaises. I asked Rav a question from the spices before. He answered me, that's talking about the Rabbanon. Over here you could also say, and one pshat is that the oil is the Rabbanon. That the oil is not, it's not, you think that the oil is olive oil? No, it's not olive oil, it's canola oil. It's the Rabbanon. If that's the case, here. So in the Mishnah it says that the vegetable was Shemitah, the oil was Truma, and that seems like a Dairaisa. If the Shemen Truma is olive oil, that's Dairaisa. And he said, no, maybe he'll say it's, and I'll prove to you that it's like this. If you are right, that it's the Rabbanon, Rav Yosef tells Abaye, you tell me that this case, that he made, let me show you the video first, because it's a shtickle negaya. Where was it? Oy vey. First of all, I have to show you this video, but where's that video with the... Oh, here. No? I don't get it. I'm going to go through all the videos with you now because there's Toiden Shlamim, that's from before. They're trying to get to it. That's one. Maybe it's this? No. Shiva's cool.
תגיד, אתה שומע?
שומע,
בטח שומע. אתה תפוח אדמה מוצלח מאוד, חשבתי לשדך לך
You want to make a shidduch with
הנה
potato.
היא ממשפחה
with
טובה
oil.
מאוד.
Very good family.
מה? העלבת אותי.
Insulted me.
אבל הם משפחה טובה, הם
Good
תרומה.
family.
אתה יודע מה עושים לחולין ותרומה שמתערבבים? הם הולכים לבית אפסול.
אש! נו, אז מה הבעיה? תפוח אדמה, שמן, אש. נשמע לי מתכון מצוין לצ'יפס.
Okay. Oh, so he tells him, if you're right, that we're talking about the Rabbanon, don't worry about it. This is going to be over in a minute. Then it should have said in the Mishnah this case. If you're going to take the case in the right and tell me that we're not talking about oil that's olive oil, and it's the Rabbanon oil, then you should have said a case that's really the Rabbanon, where the vegetable is Truma, and that's the Rabbanon, and the oil is Shemitah. That would be a real case of the Rabbanon. Obviously, you're wrong about it. Says Abaye the matter of Shimon. I asked Rava before about the two korbanos that got mixed up in the Mishnah, and Reb Shimon holds that you're allowed to limit the amount of time that you eat them. V'amar li, and Rava explained the Yorev. Oh, you can't bring a raya from our Mishnah that Reb Shimon holds that you're allowed to limit foods instead of eating them for 2 days, 1 day, because in our Mishnah it already got mixed up, so you have no choice. So he says, hachanami de arev. So in this case with the oil and the potato chips, and it's also a case where the vegetable and the oil got mixed up already, and there's nothing to do. Says Gemara, the arev might the rabbanon. So then why in the world would rabbanon say it's aser? There's nothing you can do about it. Why would rabbanon ask for that? So maybe they have Ashim and Shlamim. Perhaps they said like the Ashim and Shlamim in our mission, they got mixed up. Rabbanon said, don't do anything about it. Don't eat it. You should do something else. So the Gemara says, what's the connection? Midami, Hasim is like the Beria. The reason why Rabbanan said if Ashim and Shlamim get mixed up, don't do anything, because they have a way out of it in another way. Send it to Kevis land. Let them befall a mom and then redeem it. Let's say the Beria. But over here, but in our case, there's no Eitzah. Just like the Sefer of the Mishnah, where two steaks got mixed up, and there's no way out of it. Even Rabbanan admit that you're allowed to eat it only for 1 day and limit it, because when you have no way out, there's no takara, then everybody agrees that you do the best you can do. The kivin does the gana, okay. Mascular Ravina, midami. So he asks a question, a simple question. Is less than the kind of cloud. When you have two pieces of meat mixed up, there's no way out of it at all. Only to say, let's treat it like a asham and eat it for 1 day instead of 2 days. How is it the kind of beschita? But when we have a potato in oil, you could squeeze out the oil. Says Rav Yosef, no. Rav Yosef, what are you going to do? You're going to put it in a press and squeeze it. Then you're ruining the vegetable. And the vegetable is a shemitah vegetable, you have to treat it properly. You're not going to squeeze it in a press. You're going to squeeze it a little bit with your hand. So if you have a ruby marriage, then you left some oil in the potato. So kids, there's no Eitzah. Eisvei. So Abaye asks Rava, Reb Shimon Oimer, L'machros maybe Hashamay v'lugo imoy v'oimer. Oh, so this is Geshmach so your Rabbi saying. Just want to make sure I'm not missing things here. Okay, let's do this. Here we go. Kobe did this. We don't need to know this, but just why not? The Mitzvah is a probably the most complicated procedure in the Torah. What you do, a person, well, maybe one of the most, maybe it is. person gets a tsaras, he gets an affliction on a skin, let's say. He goes to the kohen, any kohen, and the kohen says first he puts him in a house. He says, come back in a week. That's a musgar. Come back in a week. He decides yes, it is. He makes him a muchlot. And then he has to go through the procedure of, he has to go away 7 days. The first day, he comes in, he has to bring 2 birds, he has to wash his clothes, he has to shave his entire body with a razor, and then he has to go to the mikvah. Then he waits 7 days, and then, forget the first 7 days that I said, then he goes to then it's the seventh day, another time he has to shave, another time he has to wash his clothes, and he goes to the mikvah again. The 8th day, he has to bring korbanos. Asham chata soil. Okay, that's what it is. Now, this guy comes, he got mixed up. He doesn't know if the kohen said he's a muzgar or a muchlot, meaning he's not sure if he's 100% a mitzvah or not. So what does he do? He brings an asham and a whole lug of shemen, a whole big amount of oil. And now he has a suffix. He doesn't know, am I a mitzvah or not a mitzvah? So what should he do? So he brings it on a doubt. He says, if I'm a mitzvah, boom, it's going to work for the mitzvah. If not, I'm bringing a gift to Hashem. So the Gemara is just going to go through how it works exactly. The whole bottom goes like this. If I'm a mitzvah, good. So I'm bringing a carbon of a mitzvah. I'm bringing my carbon asham, and this is the oil that goes with it. What a surprise! Geschmack. Tiny little almond. You know what? I'm bringing a gift to Hashem, a shlomim as in a dava. Oh, now this asham, that could be a shlomim, I'm going to shecht it in the north. That's not a problem for a shlomim or an asham. And I have to put the oil on his fingers, like I'll treat him like a mitzayra. And I'm going to make him do smicha. Which one of the two does smicha? A shlomim or a asham? Shlomim. And I do nisachim. Which one of the two you do nisachim? Both. Really shouldn't be in here, says Taisus. And I lift it up and I go like this. Which one of the two does that? Shlomim. But I have to do everything as if it's the other one. I have to do the chumras of each one. Here's the problem, Rabbi Isai. If it was a shlomim, how long can you eat it? 2 days. And over here, you're treating it like a asham, you can only eat it 1 day. What's the problem? Emivim, kochim, lebeis, hapsul. No. So you see, the Reb Shimon holds that you can limit, even in their Raisa. Says the Gemara, Takuni Gaver Shani. I'm trying to help this guy. I'm trying to fix him. So in order to fix the guy from his tsaras and help him out, I allow you to limit this carbon to 1 day. Now I'm going to show you a video. Sponsor, before I show you the video. Adar Global, turnkey financial services, hassle-free real estate purchase in Israel. Stephen Schwartz, Lili Nishmois, my parents, Million J. Schwartz, former owners of RNS Deli in Lakewood, New Jersey. Check out the video, geschmack stuff. I'm going to show it to you at the end also. But look at it now. We made a tikkun over here.
סליחה, אתה מיצורה? כי אני רואה שיש לך שמן וגם כבש. האמת, אני ספק. אתה ספק? מה הכוונה ספק?
מצורה, ואולי לא, מצורה, ואולי לא. אם אני מצורה צריך לוג שמן לעזה, 7 הזעות. טיפה על האוזן, על האגודל ועל הבוהן ימין, ומה שנשאר לחילה לכהנים הכהנים, אבל אולי לא, וזה רק שמן נדבה, הכהן קומץ ומגדיר, ומה שנשאר לחילה לכהנים הכהנים, אז מה אני עושה? מה אני עושה?
אחי, יש פתרון מדהים.
1, אתה מביא לוג שמן, מקדיש אותו או למצורה, ואולי לא, או לנדבה. 2, הכהן קומץ ומקטיר את הקומץ, אבל זה חסר. 3, אתה מוסיף שמן ועושה תנאי, אם אני מצורה זה קדוש, ואולי לא, ואם לא, אין אף קדוש אתה גוף. 4, הכהן מזה מהשמן, אם אתה מצורה זו עזה, ואולי לא, אם לא, זה רק מים. 5, את השמן הנוסף פודים. 6, ומה שנשאר לחילה לכהנים, הכהנים. מצורה ואולי לא.
All right. So now we're going to do the sugi and see if all those things in there we get. Basically, we have a problem. Is this guy a Matzaira or is he just bringing a gift? What do you do with the oil? The oil is problematic. We just saw what you do with the animal. You treat the animal as if it's a asham and a shlamim. You lean on it as if it's a shlamim. You do this, you eat it for one day as if it's a asham. Okay, but what about the oil? The oil is problematic. Why is the oil problematic? Because you're not allowed to bring a bottle of oil into the Beis HaMikdash. If it has no kedusha, you're not allowed to bring it in there. So says Gemara, why is it not chulun ba'azara? Says Gemara, it's not a problem. You said about the animal. I'm giving it as a gift to Hashem. Put it on the mizbeach. Says Gemara, great. If the oil is as a gift, you have to do kmitza to the oil. Now, what do you do kmitza? How do you do kmitza, Rabbi Isai? You put your hand in like this, and you go. So how you do that? You do this to the oil? Says Taisis, yes. According to Taisis, stick your hand. I'm like concerned about how do you wipe it off. Don't worry, it's the Beis HaMikdash. Blood, oil, it's not a problem. Stick your hand in there. Says Gemara. The mikametz. You're right, he does kmitza. Just in case, on the what? If it's part of the mitzayra, you don't have to do kmitza. But if it's in a dava, you have to do kmitza. What happens to the rest? The koyanim eat it. But they can't eat it until you do kmitza. Says Gemara, v'dilma mitzayra boy matan sheva. But on the tzad, that he's a real mitzayra, you have to sprinkle the oil 7 times. Klape the kapairas, the paroichas. You see that in the video also. So the Gemara, the Yav, he in fact does 7 sprinkles. So the Gemara, very good. I thought that you're going to say that. The problem is, the problem is that you don't have enough oil because he did a kmitza. You went like this, he took out the oil, you don't have enough oil. The Maisi poured him in Malalei. He brought another bottle of oil, you see that in the video also, and he fills it up. This nan chosar legach yotzak yemaleno. In fact, what time is it? 28, okay. If you're missing a little bit of oil, until you did what you have to do with the oil, you fill it up. As the Gemara Baboy Aktara. After you do the kmitza to the oil, you have to put on the mizbeach. The makterle. Yes, he puts it on the mizbeach. Says Gemara, when? Eimas. If it's in a dava, and you did 7 zrikos for the mitzayra, havelu shirayim shechosru. Now you have a problem. You have shirayim, the leftover oil is missing from the original amount. If you have a kmitza and somebody grabbed some of the flour of your mincha, in this case he grabbed some of the oil, you cannot put this oil on the mizbeach. Now somebody here took oil and sprayed it on the floor. So how are you going to take this thing and put it on the mizbeach? So this is interesting to show you this real quickly. This is the pasuk. The Gemara darshans that the word mimenu is extra over here. It already says we're talking about the leaven, sa'ir, and dvash. We have to remember this pasuk for tomorrow. You're not allowed to put any bread or dvash, honey, meaning fruit and honey of dates. You're not allowed to put on the mizbeach. So what's this mimenu? So Gemara darshans like this. Take a look. What just happened? Boom. The leisak tiru actually goes for the first part of the pasuk that you're not allowed to put on the mizbeach, dvash, and the leaven, but also leisak tiru mimenu yishel Hashem. That if you ever put a little piece, and we're going to talk about it tomorrow as well, if you ever put a little piece of carbon on the mizbeach, you can't continue putting more of it on. Mimenu. When shouldn't you put on the mizbeach? When you have a mimenu, part of it is already the mizbeach, Yishal Hashem. So over here, if you put this kmitza on top of the mizbeach, you have another problem. What does baltaktiru in this Gemara mean? You won't be able to put the 7 hazais on the floor. You won't be able to sprinkle blood on the floor, oil on the floor. It's a type of aktara. And you can't do that aktara if you already put the kmitza on the mizbeach beforehand. Once you put a kmitza, you lock everything out, it says. Or Rabbi the Breder of Shem Pazi, the Masiklu the Shem Eitzim. This, says the Gemara, and this, so we're going to have this idea also in the beginning of the Sugya. Tomorrow there's a Mishnah right away, but just remember this idea. I could put something on the Mizbeach, thinking in my mind that it's wood. It's wood. Yeah? Meaning it's water, says Rashi. The last line in Rashi says, Hare, Kidway Mayim. That's why in the video you see that he pours water. We're going to learn tomorrow that what? You shouldn't put these the sar and the dvash for a good fragrance for a reich and chayach baruch hu. If you think to yourself that what you're putting on is wood, hold on. So let's do this video again. If you think to yourself that you're putting wood, you're not doing it for a carbon. That's okay. So you're going to make a t'nai. If it's supposed to be my nedava, perfect. If I'm a mitzayra and it's not supposed to go on the base on the mizbeach, so I'm putting it on as wood. So now take a look, see if you recognize the things in this video.
סליחה, אתה מיצורה? כי אני רואה שיש לך שמן וגם כבש. האמת, אני ספק. אתה ספק? מה הכוונה ספק?
מצורע, ואולי לא מצורע, ואולי לא. אם אני מצורע צריך לוג שמן לעזה, 7 הזעות. טיפה על האוזן, על האגודל ועל הבורן ימין, ומה שנשאר לאכילה לכהנים הכהנים, אבל אולי לא, וזה רק שמן נדבה, הכהן קומץ ומגדיר, ומה שנשאר לאכילה לכהנים הכהנים. אז מה אני עושה? מה אני עושה?
אחי, יש פתרון מדהים.
1, אתה מביא לוג שמן, מקדיש אותו או למצורע, ואולי לא, או לנדבה. 2, הכהן קומץ ומקטיר את הקומץ, אבל זה חסר. 3, אתה מוסיף שמן ועושה תנאי, אם אני מצורע זה קדוש, ואולי לא, ואם לא, אין אף קדוש את הגוף. 4, הכהן מזה מהשמן, אם אתה מצורע זו עזה, ואולי לא, אם לא, זה רק מים. 5, את השמן הנוסף פודים. 6, ומה שנשאר לאכילה לכהנים הכהנים. מצורע ואולי לא.
Rabbi Isai, have a good Voch.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.